back to the next episode of Waifu Wars. I am uh oh god. I am scared of those fireworks, Drooby
That's not anime related, Cobroni.
welcome to the next episode of Waifu Wars podcast, where we talk about all things animated, the good, the bad, and the weeb, but not your waifu because she is trash. How's it going, Ani?
That's going good. How's it going with you, Drew?
I'm cool. I was just randomly perusing Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw this fight scene from how much do you remember Power Rangers?
I mean, not in detail.
Okay.
Snippets.
So I'm seeing this crossover episode where we see the Power Ranger and it's the Power Rangers in space and the old Black Ranger, aka Johnny Young Bosch. That's anime. Since he literally voiced literally every voiced everything. So yeah, I was watching this scene between the two of them, and apparently the dude who plays Black Ranger, Roger Velasco, someone was like, "Oh yeah, it was kind of weird when I found out that he had an OnlyFans," and I was like, "What?" I was like, "No, not my childhood."
Looting the Power
Rangers. Right, I was like, "Not my childhood having OnlyFans." I don't know. I'm not sure if it's true because I did type it in and Google was like, "Huh?" Yeah. His body.
You're gonna have forever in your search history is gonna be Black Power Ranger OnlyFans.
I mean, I don't. That I did not put Black Ranger. I don't think
Black
that
Ranger only.
Black Ranger OnlyFans. Just yep. It already knows which series. Everything. You're right. You got me. But yeah. But he's considerably. He looks very good for his age. I was kind of shocked. I was like, wow, you look good. You look like you could have OnlyFans. So, yes, apparently he does not. And that's what I was doing. I was waiting for you.
Well, good on you. I was looking for news. And getting my OBS updated.
Yeah, so the things we learn. Alright, we're going to start off the episode with our news segment. This week in anime. You can go first, Tony.
So, my news is kind of not official. Let me stress that this is not officially announced or anything, but it is heavily speculated, and it is based off of a well-known leaker of information from Shonen Jump. But basically, Demon Slayer, aka Kimetsu no Yaiba's TV anime, will adapt its final arc, the Infinity Castle arc, as a movie trilogy by UFO Table. That comes courtesy of Shonen Jump News, which is the unofficial leaker. Apparently, it was posted in a tweet that was quickly removed, so it might have just been posted too early, and they'll probably announce it sometime later on this summer. But that does, or maybe at the end of the season, since I think Demon Slayer is ending next week. But it does seem like something that they would do because UFO Table does, it's not like this would be the first time they adapted a movie trilogy of a well-known art. Heavens feel.
Cough.
Yeah. So, and I think that'd be interesting. Actually, apparently people are very split on it because, on one hand, it's going to be absolutely peak with UFO Table's budget and the movie format. They have more time to work with and everything. But on the other hand, it means we're not going to see this movie trilogy until fucking 2035. So it's gonna be a long time before we get more Demon Slayer. How do you feel about it?
I think it's fine. I always like to wait for. I'd rather wait for an anime to be amazing.
Yeah, I'd prefer the quality.
Yeah, than not wait and then it's kind of meh. Because in the meantime, I'm just watching more anime, girl. It's just more. There's
That's
always more
true.
anime to be consumed.
And it'll give me an excuse to rewatch Demon Slayer when movies drop. Like, oh yeah, Demon Slayer. Maybe I should go rewatch that. Figure out what the fuck's going on.
Speaking of which, I have been watching the training arcs,
How is it?
and it is very fillery, but it's like I'm not gonna lie. But seeing Demon Slayer and My Hero, they're really good at doing like light-hearted moments. I think Demon Slayer is, I don't know. It's just I really like the heroes. I'm sorry, the characters in My Hero.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I'm torn. I'm like, which one does the comedy thing better? I think I'm kind of leaning towards My Hero. I don't know. Maybe it's Demon Slayer because it's not as biased.
I lean more towards.
Cause
man, I actually like both though.
Cause yo, this is so like these pillars are so funny, Oni. These pillars are like I'm entertained. I don't feel like I'm bored, like, cause it is just so stupid. It's just stupid. Like, yeah, they go into parts where it gets a little serious because it's a training arc and they're training, but when it's time to be funny, they are really funny.
I always like Demon Slayer's humor. I think Demon Slayer has better humor, but I like the cast of My Hero.
Exactly.
Better. Yeah.
Exactly. That's the conundrum for me. But yeah, it is so fun. Like, it's so fun to watch. I literally can't wait for the next episode.
Yeah, I'll start it after the season ends.
It's super bingeable because it's just like nothing's happening. We're just
oh, perfect. My kind of show. I'll probably watch it while I'm playing the Elden Ring.
It's literally perfect for that. But yeah.
What's on your news?
Oh, girl, strap yourself in.
Yeah, you were making a big deal about
it. Okay, wait. Okay, no. First, we'll get the small news out of the way. Korean Anime News Network. My Home Hero manga ends in 5 chapters.
I thought you said My Hero Academia.
Oh no. No, My Home
Hero.
Girl, fuck you. I love My Home Hero. I love this manga.
You definitely said My Hero Academia.
I'm not debating whether I said that or not, okay? I most likely misspoke because they sound so damn similar. Like, come on. My Home Hero Academia. Anyways, for those who have good taste, you know that this manga is crazy. This manga is insane. Like, just plot twists left and right. Like, this is a real good dramatic suspense anime / manga. I started watching it, if not last year, the year before, and then I was like, it was so good that I was like, I need to watch. I need to read the manga. I have to know what happens. This is one of those where you have to read the manga. And the manga got crazy. Oh my god. Like, it was a lot. So much to the point where I stopped reading the manga because I was like, what if I catch up? And then there's no more to read. Well,
I'll definitely catch up because there's no more to read.
Exactly, because the manga will end in 5 chapters. Masashi Asaki, that's the mangaka for My Home Hero. They usually take a break after every 3 chapters, but instead they're gonna take a 2-week break and then they're just gonna churn out the last 5 chapters. So yeah, I'll probably be done by August.
Damn.
It says the manga will resume on the 31st. On the resume in the 31st issue on July 1st to start the last 5 chapters. So yeah, 5 weeks. It's gonna finish in August. This, like, y'all, I cannot stress how apeshit crazy this series is. Like, it is so good. Anyone who likes drama and suspense, like, not drama as in like, oh my god, you know, you stole my girl, or, da, 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 or does he love me? No, 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 no. Mm-mm. It is. There's not. There's no love in this series. Mm-mm. I think that's one of the reasons why I like it. It's a very like refreshing departure to what I'm used to the content I'm used to consuming. It's really good. So yeah, and it's ending. This is clearly a popular manga, despite only being a hating asshole.
I don't know anything about it. I'm just mad you said it was My Hero Academia, which is obviously a more popular manga.
Okay, that's fair. Fine, my bad. All right, so that's the first. That was the appetizer. Let's get into this main course because this was crazy. Also, according to Anime News Network, voice actor Toru Furuya steps down from Detective Conan and One Piece roles. So he plays Sabo in One Piece and Toru Amuro in Detective Conan. I don't watch either of those series, so I don't fucking know who either are.
I thought you were gonna say he plays Luffy in One Piece.
That, oh my god, that would gag me. No, but a woman plays Luffy.
Makes sense.
Right. Alice announced on June 11th that it had removed Furuya from the cast of its upcoming blah 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 whatever game due to various circumstances. No shade. It's just a weird name to say, and it's not the point. On his Twitter account on May 22nd, the voice actor acknowledged a recent report by Weekly Bunshun magazine regarding an affair he had with a fan. And Weekly Bunshun interviewed him for the article. Girl, get into this. Furuya admitted that he had been in a relationship with a female fan for 4.5 years until last September. He said that he had become attracted to a fan of his who was supporting him earnestly, and he had contacted her to begin the affair.
So he was already married.
Was he married? Is he married?
I mean, if you're saying affair, I assume he was already married.
I mean, that is true. Yeah. Yep. Yes. He is very married. According to the quick Google search. He also admitted during their relationship he raised his hand to strike her once when they had an argument. Which I'm like, that's crazy that you don't, what? Like it really must have had him fucked up about it. Furuya also admitted that he caused the woman to have an abortion. That was like, I was like, hey, yo.
Like, he took her to a doctor, or did he like forcibly do it himself?
No, like as in he probably just like coerced her to like or convinced her to do it. Mind you, do you know how old this man is?
I'm just saying his 50s.
70 years old. He turned 71 next month.
Jesus. Well, no wonder he's admitting all this shit. What does he care? He's already 70. He's fine. He's set.
That, I mean, I guess, but it's just like, I don't know. I guess at that point, are you just ready to not work as a voice actor anymore? Like, 70, yeah,
he's retired. I'd be like, fuck it. Well, I'll tell you all the evil shit I've been doing.
I guess
I'm retired.
Oh,
maybe that's why he's admitting it, so he can get out of work easier. Be like, oh yeah, I'm such a bastard. You guys don't want to hire me anymore.
That's crazy. Also, the fact that she was pregnant, which is implying that she is way younger than him.
Oh yeah.
Like the late 30s, early 40s, if we're lucky.
Probably, maybe even younger.
I know, I know. That's why I said if we're lucky. So yeah, basically canceled all his events, left the stage reading production. And yeah, let's see. And then in the last paragraph on this article kind of breaks down some of the stuff that he's done. He was oh my god, not you ruining my childhood. Well, it didn't ruin my. He's not ruining my childhood with this news.
Yeah, I was like, you don't even watch One Piece, or
no, it's not One Piece that had me upset.
What?
He was Tuxedo Mask in Sailor Moon. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like Tuxedo Mask is your favorite character anyway.
He wasn't at first, but then he got better. I liked him.
I
liked him enough.
Got worse again, apparently.
He was Amuro Ray in Mobile Suit Gundam. He was Yamcha in Dragon Ball.
That's a major role.
Yeah, this dude isn't. Hello, what makes you think this dude ain't?
I thought he was just like a
random
B-tier voice actor.
No. Doing Tuxedo Mask is iconic.
Listen, Drew, I will say, outside of very specific examples, I only know female seiyus, so like
clearly
voice actors might as well just be like, "Oh, you're all the same dude to me."
Clearly. But yeah, so he's done a lot. Yeah, that was crazy. Also, I'm like, sir, you're too old to be hitting anybody.
Oh yeah, he's 70. What the fuck is he gonna do? Probably break his back trying to.
I know his arthritis was flaring up. Like you're.
Oh, that's probably what he didn't do. He's like he raised his hand and he drew out his back. He's like
Yeah, but I'm sorry. Yeah, you're kind of a scumbag in my book. I was like,
what a controversial opinion to have.
Yeah, I know. I was like, no, because I was like, jokes aside, because I don't want to make it too light of like domestic abuse.
Clearly, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, and I do hope you have the arthritis. Yeah, I hope you have the arthritis. I hope you have the sugars. Yeah, I hope you lose your voice. I hope you stub your toe. I hope your wife. I hope the wife takes. She's probably not gonna divorce him at this age, but if she does, I hope she takes. I hope she takes everything. Shame on you. It was because it's like, the hitting her wasn't bad enough. Let's also make her have an abortion. I'm like, why'd you knock her up to begin with? I don't know, straight men. Anyways.
Wow. Thanks, Drew, for lumping us all together with him.
Well, in the whole y'all like getting girls pregnant part, yes, I will lump you guys all together because that seems to be a recurring theme you guys have. And yes, I'm totally saying this, acknowledging the fact that if gay men could get pregnant, it'd be the same shit. But we're not here to talk about that. But yeah, I was just like, that was too salacious to just be like, let's just skip it over. Alright, now that we're done with our news, it is time for our weekly reviews. And we are going to start off with not My Hero, Mushoku Tensei. No, Konosuba. Yep. It's like the moment I said it, I saw it and I was like, nope. Alright, so Konosuba, season 3, episode 11.
Which is my episode of the week. So.
This is my episode of the week. Yeah.
I think it was a great finale. Probably one of the better ones. I'm trying to remember I always like the finale episodes of Konosuba. They always go big.
Yeah, 1000%. And it was in some very roundabout ways. I don't know. I feel like it usually ends up with the destruction of like a city or a town, and this time it almost I
They
like,
almost
yes,
did.
that's why I liked it. They did the fake out. They're like,
Mhm.
oh my god, Megumin's about to destroy the city for no reason. Yes, and then she had the whole joke of her like holding the spell in.
Mhm.
I'm like, not her getting edged by a spell.
Yeah, you know how desperate she is for her explosions. She
Mm.
needs to get the explosion off.
Oh yeah. She has to do it at least once a day.
Actually, yes.
Yeah, literally. Um, I love how when they were running away from the process of them escaping the church itself was so funny. Like, you know,
Mhm.
first he knocks down the jar of I don't know, what was it, like 2 billion. I forget their
Yeah, 2 billion
currency.
heiress.
Eris. And then when the guards go after them, they do the impersonation voice again. I love that's like becoming a thing.
Yeah, that opens up so many possibilities. I feel like Konosuba is like an excellent example of like using the same premise, like because it's always the same premise in terms of like the characters have like one note jokes, but they always keep evolving on how they tell the joke. And
Mm-hmm.
this is like an like this opens up a whole new realm of deplorable behavior that can happen in the show.
1,000%. Um. Oh yeah, and then of course as they're about to leave, here enters this giant ass unga bunga dude. Like, just inserted just because he's a big scary monster, only to get blown up by freaking Union.
Yeah, I'm glad Union had it. I don't know if she was in the season at all, actually,
Like
until just at the end.
like
Was
0.5
she? Did she
seconds, I think.
yeah, maybe like just in the background or
Right, like
something.
like a very quick cameo.
Hmm.
Not that I mind. Like the homegirl got like a whole season.
Yeah, that's true. She did get her spinoff. Fair
Mm-hmm.
enough. I was gonna complain about it, but you got a point.
Yeah. Um. And then, of course, once they get outside, the way they pick a fight with the who picks a fight with the guards again? The other adventurers that Kazuma,
Hmm.
you know, he asks them to help.
His equally shitty friends.
Yeah, they were like, "Hey, oh, this." I don't know how it even started. Some dude held on to him, and he or something.
He like bumped into him. I was like, "Oh, you broke my
No,
arm.
you
I need
broke my
I need a
wrist.
wheelchair."
And he broke my wrist, and he's like, whoa, what'd you do? Oh my gosh, how are you gonna pay for this after you put my friend in a wheelchair? And it's like, wait, I thought you broke his arm. And then he's like, oh my god, he hit me.
Mm.
They're attacking us. Fight back.
Riot. It's the Konosuba version of just throwing a chair like
Yeah.
in Boondocks.
Oh my god. Not a nigga moment, please.
When's the Konosuba Boondocks crossover?
Never. Um, but yeah, oh yeah, I will say, you know, one thing or one reason why I'll never truly get bored of Megumin's spell,
Why?
because it's just so beautiful. Like aesthetically speaking, it's so breathtaking every time. It's like even if it's like
Yeah,
the
they
same
always
thing.
upgrade it. It looks they definitely change the
Yeah,
aesthetic to it every so often, and yeah, it does look really like super pretty.
yeah. And
It
in
looks
this
like a fireworks
episode,
show.
exactly this episode, it looked extremely different,
Mm-hmm.
but very pretty all the same. Very nice
Yeah.
flashing lights, essentially. Um. So yeah, they get away. They visit their papa, who's like having this like, I'm about to die. Oh, woe is me. And then Aqua's like, curse break. You're
Yeah,
healed.
apparently he was under the effects of a demon's curse the whole season.
Mm-hmm. And I guess Veneer finds out. Was Veneer implying that he knew what was happening and tried to get use Kazuma to?
Yeah, he apparently knew everything that was going on, and he just like got Kazuma to sell his rights to
Right, in the
to him
process.
yeah, basically, it was all part of my master plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh,
Which is
and
why I think Veneer is a very interesting semi pseudo villain, because clearly he's got some ulterior motives, but he's not necessarily like purely an evil guy.
yeah. No, I agree 100%. Um, he did. I don't know, but maybe Maxwell's different.
No, yeah, Maxwell seemed like he just wanted to fucking force despair on Aldarp.
I wonder if we're gonna see more of Maxwell next episode.
What you mean next season?
I mean, yeah, that's what I meant, next season.
In 6 years when we get Konosuba season 4.
Yes. by the time I'm getting married, yes.
And then we got it ended the season on a nice little darkness humor, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Divorceness.
That's funny. That was very cute.
That was a cute finale.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually think this season was probably my favorite. It's up there with season 1 as potentially my favorite season of Konosuba.
Yeah, it got really good. Like, I mean, it was always good, but then halfway, especially with the whole like darkness leaving arc, that it just kind of ramped up. I guess I like to start with the ratings. Solid 9 for everything aforementioned. It was solid. The comedy was solid. I really like this new animation. Like it
looks a lot cleaner.
It looks a lot cleaner. It looks a lot cleaner, and it's not like their mannerisms are still very similar. Like that, it's not like a complete 180. It just has a more softer animation style that works for this kind of series, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. It does look more like pastel-y, I want to say, if that's a word. Yeah, it's more artistic looking.
Yeah, and they, oh my god, do they love this studio loves making a super sexy seducer face. That's like their thing. They love that. Oh my gosh.
The faces in this season were excellent too. All like so many good like reaction faces from everybody.
It's really good.
I want to give it a 10, but I can't because I feel like that's too high. Even though I just said this is my favorite season of Konosuba. But I'm gonna give it a 9.5. I loved it. It was everything I expected Konosuba to be at this point, and it still continues to take it above and beyond. I think this is probably far and away my favorite comedy anime ever. It was great seeing Kazuma and Darkness had a lot. This was like the Darkness season, so we got even to like her even more than I already did. And even the new characters that were introduced with the princess.
Wait, okay, I changed it 9.5 because Darkness. Continue.
The 0.5 for Darkness. Yeah, the princess in the beginning was a great addition. I didn't expect her to love her as much as I did. The whole concept of like the different items to have magic powers, like the body swap, all these little different things that they did this season were really, really fun and great. I just want more. I want more Konosuba. This is one series I'm really tempted to read the novels, but I'm like, I don't want to spoil it. You know, I want there to be a season 4, and I hope we get it so badly. I love Konosuba.
It's really good. Well done. Another season.
Give us more.
Yes, please, and thank you. All right, time for depression. Up next, we have Mushoku Tensei Season 2, Part 2, Episode 11.
You say depression, I say Roxy best girl. So tomato.
Right, because I'm like, most of this episode just really just mourning Paul. Well, not all.
The first part.
Like, yeah.
And then it quickly Roxy's like, well, let me shift your priorities real quick. I'll give you some more story about.
And worry he does. I was like, not Homewrecker, not Homewrecker Roxy. First of all, I love that name.
Oh god, that is definitely the title for the episode. By the way.
Yes, please. I'm holding you to that. Homewrecker Roxy. God, I love alliteration.
Yeah.
Cause she's just like, oh, you're in pain. Let's have sex, and I'm just like.
To be fair, I feel like sex with Roxy would also alleviate a lot of depression for everybody, for most people. But
yeah. Oh, I want to. Yes. So let's ask your wife that. Yeah.
Sophie? Ask Sophie.
No.
Next episode. Sophie, what do you think about me having sex with Roxy? God, I feel so bad for Sophie.
I'm just like, everyone here is very weird and horny. Like everyone here except for Zenith is like, y'all a bunch of perverts.
All right, so I feel on my list of people to feel bad for, it's definitely Zenith first.
Yes,
but then quickly below is Sophie. By the way, the only awkward thing about that whole sex scene was why I couldn't have sex next to my like invalid vegetable mom
across the room. That's why I'm like,
room.
That's what I'm like. Is this some weird like revenge sexting, Roxy? Like you like getting off on listening to Zenith and Paul, so now you're just like, now you gotta hear me have sex.
Yeah, now you have to have the show. It's foreshadowing.
Oh my god! It's foreshadowing of what?
They're juxtapositioning Roxy's spying on them. The writing is layered. It's so deep.
Oh, shut up! Oh my god! He's like, take that, Zenith. I'm fucking your son. Like what? Okay.
Although, before I forget, real quick, speaking of foreshadowing, somebody did point this out on Twitter. There was an excellent case of foreshadowing with Rudy losing an arm. In season 1, when Rudy meets Paul again, and they have that little fight because Paul was all like, "Why aren't you looking for your mom this whole time?" Remember? Geese says to Paul, "Oh, would you have preferred your son go looks for his mom and then loses an arm and then like looks all dead shot and everything and depressed?" I'm like, oh yeah, it looks like that happened.
Bueno.
So another little instance of cute foreshadowing on there.
Cute is not the word I would use, but okay. Foreshadowing nonetheless. So, but Roxy, I don't know, I have respect for Roxy. Despite, I mean, everyone should know who my favorite girl is. But I have a deep respect for Roxy, even though at first she was being a home-wrecking harlot. She then quickly realizes that she's like, oh no, I'm being messy. Let's not do that.
I kind of respect her more for that though, where it's just like, listen, I'm gonna shoot my shot and take this situation to my advantage. Yeah, even though it is a shitty thing to do. Let me just. Fuck it. We're here right now.
Her confessional was so emotional. Like I was like, oh my god. Like I actually like felt for her. I was just like, oh Roxy.
Yeah, and even from her perspective, this is like like she says, she fell in love at first sight, and it's like her dream scenario and her dream guy and somebody that she's known and now has feelings for this whole time. And she's like, I can't just give that up because, like Eleni said, just because I happen to come second to like. Sophie met him a year or two before me.
Yeah, and then Elena Lisa was just like, well, marry her too. You can take another wife.
No, I love Elena Lisa. I love her so much. She's such an awesome. First off, she's an awesome wing person, but also she's just such like a wise, like she feels like a wise older. Like grandma.
Wait, first of all, why do you keep calling her a wing person? Why can't you call her a wing woman?
I called her wing. I just called her a wing person or wing woman.
You just called her a wing person.
I called her a wing man in the episode, and I called her a wing woman. And now I said wing person. Either way,
Mm,
she's an awesome wing woman. They're happy,
thank you.
but
Mhm.
she does also feel like an older like grandma that just like gives life
You,
advice
oh,
to.
you also fucked his grandma-in-law.
He didn't fuck her.
Oh, sorry, you fucked up in the room across the
Oh
grandma-in-law.
yeah.
Also gross.
Yeah. I mean, they should have at least gone outside or something.
Right. Well, yeah, that was kind of the problem.
Mm. Yeah, maybe that was the original Roxy thing. Like, I'm gonna lure him into an alleyway.
Yeah. Man, I'm not looking forward to this next episode. It's just everyone's gonna be sad. Sophie's gonna be sad and confused, and I feel like the silver lining is gonna be like she's gonna be cool with the wedding, or cool with Roxy getting married to Rudy. That's probably gonna be like the good part about it.
I predict that she's gonna be okay with it in the moment, and then she's like gonna walk away and just start crying in her room, and then like Elenice is gonna have to like comfort her or something. But you know who's gonna really not take this well, and I really don't want to see is fucking not Aisha, the other
Nora.
girl, Norn. Norn
Norn.
is gonna be fucking furious. Norn is gonna be like, "Oh, Rudy, where's Dad? He's dead. Who's this? Your new wife."
Your new that you want to get married to. Is this what you were doing while our dad was dying?
Yeah, you son of a bitch. I feel like Norton's gonna throw a fit next episode.
Yeah, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Like she'll rebound eventually, but yeah. Oh man, it's like I'm not looking forward to that. I don't want to see this girl sad. And
I feel like this season's only gonna end in depression because it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, and then the last frame, you just see Eris come back, and I'm just like, and there's wife number 3.
Eris knocks down the door. Rudy, I'm home. The whole room is just crying, like for various other issues.
Rudy's dick just turns off again.
It shrivels at the sight of her.
Well, can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
All right, up next we have Slime season 3 episode 12. So yeah, looks like it's back to
Nothing.
Yeah.
Back to nothing.
back to nothing. You know, we're just
This entire episode felt so incredibly long to me. It was them just talking about building a fucking Coliseum.
Yeah, that basically was it. I mean, I don't remember this character.
Me either. Thanks for not. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Yeah, so that was a little refreshing. I'm like, oh, he's talking about the guy that I'm not even sure I know him.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I guess they are talking. I like that conversation. I don't know. I liked the rapport between those two, like Rimuru and what's his name, Mijol. I just call him Mijol. He has like this whole Viking ass name.
Yeah. So my issue is, and I guess this is my overall issue with Slime as a whole.
Yeah.
I like the characters and the dialogue. Like I like their back and forth and their mentoring and stuff, and I like the concept that they have to get together and build a stadium. And but they don't need to dwell on, like, there doesn't need to be a whole episode dedicated to them talking about building a stadium. You know, like I feel like that scene could have been 2 minutes. Like you gotta cut the fat, man.
Oh, would you rather the episode have been about Yoshida, the pastier?
God, that was the other part of the episode where it was like, oh, we need to make pastries.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I'll take this over what that
but
was.
Like those two scenes combined should have been like maybe 5 minutes or like the first half of an episode, not like the whole episode. Like I feel like in a world where so many anime has to like cut, like even Mushoku clearly has to cut a lot of content to get to the important stuff. Why can't Slime? Why does Slime always get like these long ass 24 episode seasons to just like have 12 episodes where they just talk about fucking cooking and cleaning and housing, and every other show has to like fight. Mushoku has to fight for 12 episodes to do like a whole ass arc about Rudy's entire marriage life. Like,
Yup. I agree that this series, for those reasons you mentioned, it doesn't need to be this long.
yeah, it
Because
definitely does not.
I definitely got bored quick, as you said. Also, inviting Yuki, I'm like, what? Are you fucking insane? Like, this dude's like kind of your mortal enemy, and you know that. So maybe they'll go into more conversation as to why he wanted to do that. Cause that's like, was there a different Yuki? Am I thinking about is this the same one that we're thinking?
Yes, I mean, I don't think he knows that's his mortal enemy.
Really? I thought that they knew.
I'm pretty sure it's like he's working in the shadows type of thing.
Oh,
Rimuru is just like, oh, that's my friend Yuki, and Yuki's over here like, I'm gonna fucking destroy.
how do they know each other, or were they introduced to each other?
They I think way back in season 1, Rimuru went to. Remember when he was like a teacher at that school for a little bit, and he had like, a class of students. I think Yuki was like
one of the students.
Not one of the students, but he was working at the school, and they both. I think Yuki comes from another world too, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
They're like, "Oh, I come from another world. We're both from another world," and like he made a manga or something.
Yeah. So yeah, that was okay. That explains it. Also, and I feel like sometimes I feel like, and tell me if I'm wrong. Sometimes I feel like Rimuru is a little bit more confident than Ainz.
He is, in the sense that he's way more like competent about strategizing and building like, a society that functions.
Okay, I'm glad it's not just like because I'm just like, I feel like half the time
incredibly competent at that. Yeah,
I feel like Ainz for most series is just like his support, right, exactly, and his subordinates coming up with all the plans, do everything, and there's like a little bit of that happening here, but like it's not complete. Like he at least gives the big idea, and they kind of just execute for him.
Yeah, Ainz is more so like a genius when it comes to like fighting and combat, and like, oh, if I do this and this will work. But
yeah, but that's
running a kingdom, he's like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, you don't know what you're doing in that case. Okay, I noticed that. I'm just like, well, I was like, Ainz wouldn't be able to have this kind of conversation with Albedo, or is it just Albedo and the rest of them are just so much smarter than
I think
us?
Ainz would try to have that conversation, and then it would just get hijacked by Albedo and the other guy, Demiurge, and they were just like, well, yes, we'll build an entire society for you, Ainz, just as you suspected. You're brilliant.
Yes, and yes, we're gonna build it in the sky, just like you clearly were trying to lead up to that.
Yeah. I was gonna say they should make a crossover between Slime and
between. Oh my god.
They did though. There's like
yeah, they did. Yeah. That was a fun little mini series, whatever the fuck that was.
It's still going.
Wait, what?
It's like there's like 4 seasons of it and like 2 movies. It's ridiculous.
The one where everyone's crossed over?
Yeah, the isekai chibis, and they're all like little chibis.
What?
With Konosuba, and yeah, it's like a real long fucking series.
Oh my god, why I feel like everyone was so hyped over the first season and I never heard about it again.
Same, and I keep like seeing it pop up here and there, and I'm like, why is this series still going?
Like, are you talking about like animated or like this? Like
no,
this
animated.
What?
Up, Isekai
Quartet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. You gotta be fucking me. Not.
Yeah, it's 3 seasons.
Huh.
And then I think a movie.
I mean, okay, well, I know what to watch when I'm high next time.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something so fun to binge.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I think they're all shorts, so it's like 10 minutes each or 5 minutes each or whatever.
Even better. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, no, this episode, like you said, I went back to just being fluff and whatever, and I'm just like, I'm over it.
Yeah.
Okay. Up next we have Spice and Wolf. Merchant Meets the Wise Wolf, episode 12. I'm waiting for Lawrence. I hate Lawrence. Like, just get that out of the way.
I hate Lawrence speech.
I
gave up. I gave up on that. Listen, Lawrence is Lawrence. All right, I no longer expect him to do or be anything. I am surely watching. I accept. I was just a dumb kid who didn't understand.
Cool.
I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like you're just watching another anime because I don't know what world you expected a merchant with no experience in combat.
So much cooler when I was a kid and watched the original series. I used to honestly like him.
I don't know what you expect a man with a merchant with no combat experience to do to like a bunch of armed dudes. You know, I mean, I thought it was cool when he punched that dude at the end. And he's like, "We're both merchants," and they punch him in the face. Like, I'm nothing like you, bitch.
I just want him to do something.
He did. He resolved it in a smart way, and not the hollow way, which would have been terrible.
To killing them.
Yes, I loved how when he was like, "No, we're not doing that." She like turned away and got all like pouty in their wolf form. Yeah. That was really funny. Yeah, no, he kind of like he fixed his fuck up. He took the other dude's money, which I thought was funny. Essentially coerced him into a debt that I guess he wanted to save the company because that way he would still make a profit from it, as opposed to like, I'm just gonna take your money, even though it won't be a lot of money because I have to split it with Nora.
Mm-hmm.
And pay off my debt. But this
basically all this just to break even.
He's not he's breaking even for now, but he's going to get more money in the future. So yeah, he made money.
I don't think this was like bad. Like, yeah, you're right. This was the best he could do, and he did use his wit and like merchant know-how to finagle the contract.
Exactly.
Like, oh, yes, everyone wins.
Exactly. Hollow is the supernatural muscle, and he is the merchant brain.
He is not the merchant brain. He just did it in this one case.
I'm sorry. She wants to kill everybody. So
she's still the merchant brain. But like I said, I don't expect him to be. And he's just a generic protag to me at this point. He's just there. He's just there to witty banter with Holo like he did at the end of the episode, which was really cute, where like she was like, "Whose name did you call?" Then he says it when the bell rings.
Yeah.
And she gets all frustrated. That's what he's there for. He's not. That's probably why I thought he was so cool, because I was just like, "Whoa, he's so witty and bantery." But now I've seen that happen in so many anime, and there's so many characters I can like point to that do that better. And I was like, "All right, well, what else does he do?"
Who does it better than him?
I don't know. Araragi from Bakemono, the Lush from Code Geass. He banters with CC all the time.
Oh, that is true.
Kazuma, even though it's not the same, it's not witty necessarily.
It's not that. No, Kazuma does not count. Kazuma is just saying funny shit. That's just comedy. That does not count. Yeah, but it's fun enough. Like it's pleasant. Like even though I understand what you're saying comparing him to the other two, but it's like the mood is different between those three of those series.
Yeah, I just have to adjust my expectations. This was an expectations thing. I was expecting him to be so much more than what he actually is.
Yeah, I guess so. I think that's literally what it is.
If I just accept
Because as
generic
literally
MC, then I think
literally just a merchant.
Generic MC it is.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, I like Lawrence. I like Lawrence. I find him actually refreshing. Because notice how you only said you only named 2 characters in 2 anime out of like a gajillion.
I'll have to think about more characters that are based on wit and intellect. But it's I can name 1,000 that are more interesting than he is.
That's okay. Like I don't know. I think I'm okay with it because his job isn't to be the super interesting, cool. Like that's Hollow's job. That's Hollow's job.
Thing. Like I remember it being more equal. I remember it being
like, Hollow. Excuse me.
I remember being like Hollow's really cool, and then Lawrence is really cool, and they like shared the spotlight. But now it's clearly like no, Hollow is the main attraction here, and then Lawrence is like the side show, like opening act kind of person.
I mean, I guess. Oh, I love how he still kind of manipulating Nora just a little bit, just like a wee bit.
Yeah, so like, we'll like lie to her and everything.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, well, well. Also, is he the one who lied about the amount of gold? Well, he did lie about it to her, but like, was he lied to about the gold, or did he just make up that lie about?
He was lied to, I believe.
Yes, he was lied about the amount of gold as well, and then he passed on the same lie to Nora. Okay,
yeah, basically, like I'll follow up that lie.
So yeah, all in all, I think it ended well. It ended in a satisfactory way to me.
Yeah, it was an episode. It had its moments. I'm just not. I'm gonna go into it not expecting anything from Lawrence.
Yes.
And enjoy.
Yeah. As you should. I will continue to enjoy both. Yeah, I enjoyed it. All right. Up next, we have My Hero Academia, season 7, episode 8. Can I be honest?
Go for it.
This is a rare L for this series.
Damn, Drew going hard on My Hero. He says L series.
Well, this episode is this episode is a rare L. Like, as the kids would say, it just like
it just giving you enough.
It just felt mad Naruto. Like it reeked of Naruto.
It made me realize, because we watched this together, and we had the exact same stance. It made me realize why I don't watch much shonen and why I prefer seinen fights and stuff. Like, as this was, I was comparing it to Fate. I'm like, man, like there's a lot of talking in Fate sometimes, but at least when there's action, there's fucking people will just run into combat.
Yeah, this
was like, holy fuck. 20 hours of let's just talk to each other about our
literally like maybe 2 minutes of fighting.
Yeah, someone needs to do like a supercut where it's just they remove all the talking and just leave the fighting parts, and this episode is probably 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes.
Like, that's insane. I was like, what is that? Like, did we have to have I don't know. I was like, why are we backslide into Naruto logic? Like, why? Or we have to just talk about the shit? Like, why do we have to talk about? I don't know, fucking Toya and Todoroki. Like, while the fight's happening, couldn't this been before? And then you had like at least half the episode for the fighting. I don't even think I would mind the flashbacks if it just wasn't the majority of the episode.
it felt very Dragon Ball Z-ish in a
Yes,
sense, where it's
yes,
just like we're spending the whole
yes,
episode talking and powering up.
yes, yes. Very
especially
that.
with especially Shoto was just there powering up for the whole first 15 minutes while this backstory was going on.
Right, and everyone's getting like slowly burned to death.
Mm. Everyone is like burning alive on the floor, and I was like, "Wait, still powering up. Give me a minute. Talk more about your backstory."
Right. Let me talk about our dad and how shit he was. Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, we did learn that essentially All for One was making like a hero, well, here a quirk form for people that he can like possess, which is insane. That's insane.
Yeah, it's pretty evil.
That is pretty insane. I was like,
Beginning to
oh.
think he's not a nice guy.
Yeah, he seems kind of low and cool.
Mm-hmm.
So that was interesting to learn. I think, yeah, and this is no shade. We could have just used less of the whole emotion of it all. The whole, oh, but now I wasn't alone because of my parents and father. I'm like, girl, we had literally a whole arc about that. Like a literal whole arc about your family. We do not need you to hammer it in like that.
It's also a case of like they could have done a better job of like weaving it into the into
the
the
fight,
like, the fighting into the story.
yes, because
Maybe
I'm
just
not.
do like a flashback and then a fight.
Yes,
and then a flashback and then a fight.
yes,
Like, yeah,
I
not
agree.
just like have the entire story up front the first 17 minutes and then leave the fighting happen really quick for 2 minutes.
Yeah, it was
very
too much.
poorly paced.
Yeah, just terrible pacing. And then it's just like at the end, he's just like, I did the attack, ice everywhere. He's dumb. And I'm just like, wait. I was like, that was the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Like it felt like this felt like one of those fights where I don't know. It felt like a fight where it's Froppy fighting some hero. Some generic villain B.
Mm-hmm.
And she's reflecting on how far she came,
how she worked
and then she ends up being the fight. That's what it felt like. But the problem is, neither of these characters are side characters. Like they're like main characters.
That's the other thing. It's like the fight ended for Dabi being set up as much as he was, and this whole fight being set up as much as it was. If this is the end of it, I was like, oh well, it just happened in like 2 hits.
Right. So literally 2 attacks from Shota, 1 or 2 attacks from him. It was done.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was really, this episode was really disappointing.
Yeah, they can't all be winners, I guess.
I guess. Yeah, bring back the team fighting arc.
God no, please.
That was more entertaining than this episode.
It was, but still.
All right, let's move on to. This isn't the last show, right?
This is the last show.
It is. Oh shit! Right, because we finished.
There's no Dungeon Meshi.
Oh shit! Well, our last show of the night, Blue Archive episode 12.
Which is also the final episode of the season
for
Blue Archive, and thankfully this was a very action-heavy episode. They did not go the My Hero Academia route.
Right. It's see, that's a problem when Blue Archive has more action. that's a problem. That's a problem. And at first, I thought it was gonna be kind of like whack because it's first started out being like super generic or whatever. But it was a solid build up.
Yeah, I actually felt it, but I was like, ooh, I got excited when Pifumi showed up and like launched the fucking cannons, and then all the other schools started showing up to help. Yes.
Yeah. It was dope. But it was also I really hate how hate's a strong word. I dislike Ayane and the sensei being there. You're there to do well. Maybe I would say maybe Ayane. Maybe you can make an argument for Ayane.
You gotta have a commander there to call the formations and stuff.
He didn't call any formations. He didn't do anything. Like
he's there for moral support, right?
In a little combat zone.
Mm-hmm.
Unarmed. That's stupid. Like, okay.
Would you rather him be like in a control room back at the school or something?
Yeah, literally, yes. Because that would literally make more sense.
I do wish they integrated him a little bit more. I guess it's like a catch-rate because it's like hard to represent his role in, I guess, in the show.
I mean, if he literally called out like shots of what to do, I wouldn't be as mad. I mean, I'd still be annoyed that he's like on the front lines doing nothing but saying shit that he could say over a radio.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was fine. It was a fine last episode.
I enjoyed it. Favorite part was definitely Aru showing up in the helicopter.
Yes, that was the best moment. Yeah, crashing into the robot. Yeah, that was pretty great.
Yeah, it ended in a very predictable but still kind of good way, where it's like, oh, they're all back together. Like, this is pretty much what I expected from this adaptation in terms of it being like, this is the most generic story chapter of the bunch.
Yeah,
so
it sure felt like it.
Yeah, this was like,
especially this episode.
I mean, it's like that with every gacha game, though. It's like the first chapter is always the most boring, kind of generic by the numbers chapter. Name one that isn't. The only one I can think of is probably Nikkei.
I didn't watch Nikkei, and it's not even like arguing the generics. It's just, I can't believe I'm saying this, but maybe to a certain extent, I may have even preferred Azure Lane.
No, you don't mean that.
I think I do.
Insane.
Yeah, I think I do.
Roll the tape back to.
I know. I also was not the biggest fan of Azure Lane. But yeah, like I don't know.
This was easily better than Azure Lane, and I say that as somebody who did enjoy the Azure Lane anime.
I don't know, just because it just literally felt like verbatim. It was just so. Let's rate the show. Let's start with you.
I'm gonna give it a 7. I think it did a good job of doing what it was supposed to do. And again, I have the context of knowing where everything builds up to, so it's kind of like, I guess, maybe inflates my score a little bit because I'm like, I know where they're going. For me, this first season was just a proof of concept that they could competently do an adaptation, and I think that they showed that they could. As by the numbers as it wasn't bad. So, a little generic, yes. Problems here and there with the pacing and the music and stuff, yes. Characters a little stale here and there, yes, but that's mostly because that's how they were written in the game. They literally didn't deviate from the game, so I can't really hold them accountable for that. But I did enjoy, at least, they did have decent animation in the fights a lot of the time. They did do a good job with, like, the comedy when it was there. Aru in particular was really good. Voice acting was great. And I think they did a good job of holding those, like, more serious moments. Like, they didn't make the serious moments over comedic or anything like that. Like, the tone was well put. So, I think it was just a decent show. Not super special, not bad. Just slightly above average, maybe. Or, yeah, slightly above average.
Yes, I agree. It is slightly above average, which is why I'm giving it a 5.5. Okay. Literally slightly above average.
You are hating so hard.
So, um, yeah, so it get pluses. The pluses that it gets, because like I'm just like it's so this is so middle of the road. So I had to start from a 5 and just go what I liked and what I didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
And what I did like is I like the animation. I like the character design. It's very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah, as I already said, the animation was slightly higher quality than I thought it would be. Um, what I didn't. Oh, and some of the characters were pretty fun, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
What I didn't like, I don't like if you're going to make an anime where everything is just kind of cute and fun. Do not make it around guns.
That it's not cute and fun though. Also,
It is
the
cute.
guns is
It
core to
is
the
cute.
theme of the.
It is cute
No,
and
all
fun.
right. I'm gonna take umbrage with that complaint because it's not just like K-On! Or something.
It's not
There is a
It's not
deeper
K-On, but
story to
it's very it's
the whole
infantilized.
theme of
It
the whole theme of
infantilizes our like warfare with armed warfare. Like this series infantilizes it.
It
Yes,
does
it
not
does.
infantilize armed warfare.
No
That's
one.
the whole concept of the show, that they're immortal and the schools represent countries and it's all this different like conflicts going on in that society. I don't think it infantilized. That's literally the concept of the show.
So when I say infantilize, I mean in the literal.
That's like me saying Naruto. I don't know. Naruto. What you would call it? Promotes child abuse because kids are beating each other up and adults are beating up kids. Like you have to give some suspension of disbelief to the world that you're in. You can't be like, well, this is clearly something that's infantilizing.
It infantilizes warfare, not in the overarching plot, but in the execution of the action. I don't want to see other girls get shot with guns and going like, ooh, I got, like they do. I don't want it.
That's the concept of the show.
I don't want it. I don't want that. I hate that. I dislike that.
No, that's a bullshit reason.
I dislike that.
No,
I always hate when anime. I always hate when anime does that.
How many times you don't like any shonen when they get punched, and beaten, and like heads cracked together and they still get back up? That infantilizes abuse.
I'm not even. You're bringing up a totally different point. You're not understanding what I'm trying to say.
No, I'm just saying that what you're trying to say is it ruins the suspension of disbelief. Like you have to let the show have that concept. Because if that's the case, then you're just not gonna like any anime that has guns that doesn't have like a hard R rating that's about killing each other. Like the point of the show is that they have powers. The Halos give them the power to survive.
I can appreciate that, but
and they can still die. Like there's other later on when the show gets more serious or when the series gets more serious, like they die. Actually, in this season, they show somebody die in the student council, the original student council person in the flashbacks. When she was like bleeding out in a chair. Like you can still die from gunshots. It just has to be like a really high caliber gun. And like a really direct point blank shot.
I'm not saying these girls have to get riddled with bullets, blood everywhere.
That is exactly what you're saying, though. You're saying unless it's realistic, it can't be a good representation of violence.
Let me finish. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, I don't know. I think I need to see. I think for me, and I guess it's kind of ties back into like the generic generic anime in general. I just needed to. I don't know. I just wanted to see some kind of like there was. I just felt like there wasn't really much struggle, and once again, I don't need like gunshots. Like I like just show them getting fucked up like a little bit, like just a little bit. Can like in one of these episodes, can we get like some? Like not the same.
That's a different argument. Then I agree with that because there is a lack of stakes in the first chapter.
Like I want and it's like I don't need to see like someone's head get torn off, but yeah, I would like to see like bruising, scarring, clothes getting ripped out because you're getting blown to bits by shit. Like give me something. Not literally
So-
girls get shot and they go, and that's it.
So,
like,
but here's the thing. All right, so maybe because the show didn't explain it well enough. That stuff does happen, especially in later seasons, like later volumes where the shit goes haywire and there is like explode. Like I don't want people thinking Blue Archive is like some kiddie show where nobody gets hurt. Like no, God, I wish they had that more seasons because first this is the problem with gacha games adapting into animation because the first few chapters are always so like just setting the tone. But there are, if we ever get, I hope we get a season 3, because if we ever get season 3, that's exactly what you're gonna get. People will get fucking shot and riddled and blown up and killed. But so that does exist. But for the most part, when using conventional weapons, to them like regular guns are just like the equivalent of BB guns. That's a good way to analogy to put it. Like any gun that's not like a fucking point blank Desert Eagle shot to the face might as well just be a BB gun.
Yeah, or like a paint gun.
But then when later seasons show up and then they do start carrying, people start carrying like, oh yes, here's my fucking anti-material rifle and my, fragment grenades I just throw all over the place and shit. Then it gets more serious.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess call me when we get there because I don't like that, which kind of also ties into the lack of stakes, because once again, why the fuck are Ayane and the sensei like, to me, like it's just a lapse in logic that, because I can
explain Ayane being there because
yes, she supports. That's why it's like I give her a little bit of credit, even though I'm like, girl, if you don't, what, bitch, take up a gun, get a fucking gun, you're on the worth, you're providing support, get a gun. Like, see, that shit like that drives me insane. Cause like, what are we, like, there's like, yes, the sense of suspending my, what's the phrase again?
Disbelief.
Yeah, suspending my disbelief, and then there's this like points where I'm just start asking like questions like what is going, like what's going on here? What is going on here? So I just felt, yes, this season just felt a little too kiddie for me. In general, it felt too kiddie about a series that involves guns and everyone getting shot. This season, if you're saying it gets worse, or not worse, I guess better, I'm here for it.
I guess it depends on what you're looking for. Like, again, how much blood and guts are you looking for? In
not
show?
Like, I don't. Not
like
not
season 2. I will say,
if
you hate this season, if they do season 2, the first part of season 2 is literally just if you thought this was infantilizing, I don't even remember there being guns in the first half of season 2. Is just like K-On, and then the second half of season 2 is like fucking Terminator. But then there's not really like, well, there's like, it's more anime-esque where it's like we're shooting energy lasers at each other and blowing up buildings and shit. So there's not necessarily
it's like I don't need like I don't need a genocide per se, because I know the way I started off is saying, I'm like, oh, there's no guts and blah, 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 blah. I'm just saying it just gets, I can't take this anime seriously when Serika is like, oh my god, I'm going to my part-time job as a I work in the ramen shop. Oh my god, so I'm taking the ramen shop, time to take out my cute little pink purple gun and start shooting away. Like what? Like what?
Well, I mean, it's always gonna have that element. It's still a comedy anime or still a comedy series, so it's always gonna do the thing where it bounces back and forth between like wholesome, like we're just chilling at the store, the meat outfits in the store, and then also we're shooting each other with guns.
Yeah, and then which I don't know. In my mind, that's like a not the best combination, and to be honest, until you just said so right now, I really forgot this is classified as a comedy. It wasn't that funny, plus or minus a few scenes. It really wasn't. The funniest part I could say,
first volume was
the funniest part of this series I could think that actually made me laugh was when they robbed the bank, and that was
is definitely the best part of the series.
that is literally it.
Well, at least this first volume.
So nothing else really felt super funny to me outside of that.
So then I guess the question is, if this ever gets to season 2, which I don't know if it will. I hope it does. Will we cover it?
It's gotta be like a dead season, to be honest. It's gotta be a dead season. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying straight up no, especially because what you told me about season 2. But it has to be, yeah. It have to be where I don't have to struggle to add something to the lineup. Then yeah, sure, I'd watch it.
I low-key hope they just skip season 2 and go to season 3. There's not really much in season 2 that they need to cover anyway. They're all independent stories, so it's like I wish they would just jump to season 3.
But yeah, but no, I don't hate, like, I don't hate this series. I gave it a really mid score because it's just a really mid anime to me. I'm sorry.
No, I get it. I think that's the take most people are gonna have, which is why it's like a catch-22, because you're either gonna get like this where it's like, oh, the gacha game adaptation is adapting it like verbatim, in which case like the first few seasons are always gonna be like mid as fuck, because that's every gacha game story is mid as fuck.
I don't know if that's true for every gacha game, like FGO.
Yeah, Septum was amazing. Sure, yeah, I definitely think every chapter before Babylonia was top tier.
Wait, the way maybe my brain forgot what Septum was.
Yeah, it should, because it was trash.
Oh, okay.
Orleans, and what was the other one?
Hey, I like whoa, Chon Okeanos. I actually like
you know. I was gonna say Okeanos. Well, that's the thing. We would like Okeanos, but it's not necessarily like. I like it because Drake is in it. I like the pirate theme, but it's not like if it came out, it would be a mid anime, just like this.
It was fun. I liked it.
Or you can like do what Fate did and just jump like, oh fuck it, we're just gonna adapt Camelot. Or not Camelot, Babylon. Well, they did also that.
Yeah.
Or we're gonna adapt Babylonia.
Yeah.
In which case, it's like, oh yes, Babylonia is literally amazing and super underrated as an anime, but most people will never watch it because they're not gonna jump into the middle of like a gacha game to enjoy the anime.
What about Magia Record?
I think Magia Record's an exception.
Yeah.
That's just good across the board. That's fair.
But yeah. Gosh, what was the last time we watched a gacha anime?
It's probably Azure Lane.
That really the last time?
I can't remember. We normally don't watch many gacha anime because we know that it's not going to be good.
That is fair, and yet you made me watch this one, so I don't know.
I love the archive, so
that is not a good enough reason, bitch. What?
Oh yes, it is.
Because you
love all the time.
Well, like what?
Literally, what did we watch the last season? Let me see. What's the thing?
I make you watch like a gay anime like once a year.
Oh, there we go. I didn't even see that. See, there we go.
Okay, anime. Well, no shade. Well, I no shade. The gay anime was better than this. Like that's not even up for argument. That's an actual interesting premise.
It's almost like we have differing biases that would lead us to different conclusions on this matter.
No, just my premise is the premise of the gay anime was just more interesting.
I think Blue Archive was more interesting. Agree to disagree.
You do not think that this first season is better. Is more interesting. Sorry, excuse me, more interesting than the gay anime.
I do, but then again, it's enforced by my knowledge of what
Okay, that's a bias. Yes, your bias is you've seen. First of all, I'm almost positive you rated the other one higher than this. I'm almost positive.
I'm pretty sure I gave it a 7 as well.
That's like a minimum, right? we go back and check. Ooh, speaking of, before we close out the podcast, speaking of gay anime, today I watched the first episode of Tadaima Okaeri, the gay one where they're like the gay couple raising a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, so fucking cute. It is literally just diabetes in in anime format. Like, holy hell. It is So cute, so sweet, so doting, and yeah, and then they find a cool way to kind of just throw in like the whole discrimination background, but they're like, instead of making it because they're gay, we're making it because of this. It's very it's very interesting. I was like, that was a very smart way to like, touch on like, hey, here's how discrimination works, but we're just not. It's just not gonna be because they're gay, but we all know. Dot dot dot. Yeah, very interesting anime. I'm gonna watch that episode probably tonight.
Well, on that note, this is the end of the podcast. So, if you guys enjoyed this week's episode of the White Forest Podcast, make sure you like button, subscribe, so you catch this podcast every week as it goes up. If you haven't already, do follow us over on Twitter, follow us on Twitch, and join the party on our Discord. All linked in the description down below. If you like, you can even become a channel member or patron and join us for our weekly live watches. We'll be watching a new set of shows with our patrons for the new season, and we'll be releasing a vote for patrons to choose what show you want us to watch next season. So be on the lookout for that. And Drew, do you have anything you'd like to add?
For anyone who's a Patreon member, the dungeon is coming soon. It's coming soon. If you know, you know.
And on that note, this has been Silveroni and
Drooby Doo.
Catch you all later. Later.
Bye.